Welcome to another episode of Ronald Talks Real Estate. Today we are talking bond pre-approval. Who can benefit from bond pre-approval? Is it only for first-time buyers? Are there any costs involved? What documents do you need to submit? So all of these questions will be answered. And with us today to explain the process of bond pre-approval, we have Elsabie Castellane. Now, Elsabie is a well-accomplished property finance consultant with more than 35 years of experience in the home loan industry. Elsabie, thank you so much for joining us and welcome.
Thank you, Ronald, and thank you for the introduction. And I'm very excited to join you and your audience today. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. Now, just to remember, I will be sharing Elsabie's full bio as well as her contact details in the description below if you have any questions or you want to make contact with her. So, Elsabie, I think let's kick off and just by starting to explain what exactly is bond pre-approval and how does it differ from your final home loan approval?
Ronald, yes. A pre-approval is basically a tool that you do before even starting looking at properties. Because, there's so many criteria and bond criteria that the banks are looking at. And it's so important to be prepared and to be informed. And that's why 90% of the bond process actually does start in advance. Now, a pre-approval is basically your gateway into buying property. And when we do a pre-approval, we basically look at three criteria. And that is also the criteria the banks are looking at. And that's also the criteria that the National Credit Act has laid down, for a client to apply for home finance. Firstly, the National Credit Act does not allow you to spend more than 30% of your income on a home loan installment. So that's the first thing that we do when we do a pre-approval, we do that calculation. Secondly, which is actually the more obvious one, you need to have surplus available monthly to afford the new home loan installment. And then thirdly, I think, which is actually the most important thing, especially these days and the time we live in, is your credit profile. That's the absolute first thing that the banks look at. And we calculate all of the pre-approval, the assessment, the affordability, the net income, and also your credit profile. And then we basically issue you with a pre-approval certificate or assessment. I'm a bit cautious to use the word approval. I would actually say more pre-assessment. It's an affordability calculation, and we also do your pre-approval. Your credit score, and then we issue you with the pre-approval, which is a tool that you use when you go and shop for property. And where it differs from an actual formal bank approval is the property is not linked yet. You can go and shop anywhere with that pre-approval not being linked to any specific property, because I think that's where the confusion sometimes comes in, where a client says, but if I do this pre-approval, now I'm binded, and which is not the case. You are only binded once we do the formal home loan application to the banks. So although there is quite a few additional criteria that the banks look at when they do the formal assessment, the pre-approval basically covers 90% of what the banks do consider when they assess your home loan application.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I think there's a lot of good information already there. And then why should buyers consider getting pre-approval even before they are starting to look out for properties?
Well, now to buy property is a big decision and a big financial commitment, and you need all the information and facts before you sign an offer to purchase for a specific property. The pre-approval process is not only a clinical and generic process, but it includes a full consultation as well. As I mentioned, we do look at those three factors, which is the gateway and the basic assessment that you need to, comply to when applying for a home loan. But there's also, a lot of other criteria, like if you are self-employed, if you apply for a building loan, if you buy a vacant stand, so all those factors you also need to know, all that criteria, and we do a full consultation process with you, on top of issuing the certificate for you. So it's vitally important to have all that information on hand, because there is a vast number of criteria for a home loan. And if you just, basically go into the process blind, there's definitely going to be loopholes in the process going forward. So it's very, very important to do that process first.
Yeah, and I think it also provides quite a bit of peace of mind, and sometimes maybe a bit of a reality check, and saving time and money not to look at properties or go view properties that's maybe outside of your budget. So if you already know kind of like this is what I would qualify for, I think it makes it so much easier to know kind of like which properties do I need to look at.
No, very true, because it's a time-consuming process, just to identify the property that you need to look at, and also for your property practitioner, for the estate agent, to know to which properties to take you to, because you think maybe you qualify for a small little apartment, and in the meantime, you can actually afford to buy a nice townhouse, which is a better investment. Or on the flip side of the coin, you go and look at a 2, 4, 5 million rand property, but indeed you actually qualify for only 3 million. And then, the seller, you put his hopes up, you put the estate agent's hopes up, and everything just to apply, and then just to realize it's not going to be a viable application. So very, very important.
No, I totally agree with you. And then is pre-approval only for first-time home buyers, or can existing homeowners also use it when they are applying for or they want to buy a new property?
Ronelle, I actually have a very soft spot for first-time home buyers, because, they're so thirsty for information, and, they really benefit from this whole process because it is their first time. And I know your parents can advise you, and, you can listen to friends, and people can say, do this and do that. But at the end of the day, you need the facts. And, your parents maybe bought a property 10, 15 years ago, and it changed so much. So for me, I really, really prefer, I like working with first-time home buyers, but also your more experienced buyer. I mean, it's not something that you do every day. You don't buy property. You maybe buy property every 8 or 10 years, and then the criteria change totally. So it's definitely not for first-time home buyers only. Although with first-time home buyers, there is additional information, like some of the banks offer, for instance, including the bond and transfer cost on top of your loan amount. And we need to go through that and tell you which bank offers you which benefit. As a first-time home buyer, there's some discounts applicable on your bond registration fees and all of that. So we go through each bank's criteria with you, but most definitely it's for everybody that's in the property market.
Okay, so, and I think that is also a valid point that you mentioned there now. So you can already at pre-approval state already know kind of whether there is a possibility that the bank will also finance your transfer duty and your transfer costs and so forth. Or so that is definitely another benefit.
No, most definitely. The banks do really offer good products for your first-time home buyer. And also, education when you go through the process, but you need to indicate that you're a first-time home buyer. And for that, it's very important that, you apply correctly and for the correct product. So if you don't know that you qualify for it, you're not going to apply for it. And hence the fact, even, it's even more important to have that information up front.
Yeah, absolutely. Elspeth, maybe you should just take us through kind of like in how does the whole process work?
Most definitely now. We try to make it as convenient as possible, but on the other hand, we also need complete, thorough information, complete information in order to issue you with a very accurate assessment. Otherwise, it also does not, going to benefit anybody. I mean, previously it was very, very easy. I mean, the banks only use 30% of your income. They call it installment to income. So that's what you are allowed to spend on a home loan installment. And then they issue the certificate according to that. But we also require you to send us your proof of income, and preferably at least 1 month's bank statement and a copy of your ID. The reason for that is, just to verify the information. And secondly, to issue a credit-worthy assessment, we need to do a credit report so that we can see, is there any defaults, any judgments, any late payments, because those are the things that the banks are looking at. So for us to issue that certificate, we need to draw a credit profile, either from Experian or TransUnion, because those are the credit bureaus the banks are using. And for that, we need a copy of your ID, and we also need a consent form from you so that we can do that credit report. So we try to make it as convenient as possible. There's 2 options. You can either complete a very a short information sheet and email us your payslip, bank statement, and copy of ID, or there's a link that we normally forward to the clients, which especially your younger, very busy clients, they don't have time to go and complete forms, so they can go onto the link, they can add all the information on there, they can link their documents on there, and then it pulls through to us, and we can immediately issue the pre-assessment certificate. So yeah, just proof of income, latest bank statement, and a copy of your ID and the information sheet.
Okay, perfect. And then Elspeth, will you share that link with us? Then we can also put that in the description field for people who are already kind of like ready to start with a bond pre-approval process.
Absolutely. I'll do that. We really try to make it as convenient. We don't want it to be a daunting process, not at all.
Okay, great. And then just in terms of the information and the documentation that is required, is it only those that you have mentioned now, or is there anything else at this stage that people need?
Yes, what I can mention for self-employed clients, it is a slightly different process. It is very difficult to issue like a pre-approval for a self-employed client, as the banks really look at it, each bank look at it differently. And then, but at that stage, what I do send the clients a list of documents that the banks will require for a self-employed client so that he can start getting those documents ready. I think that's going to be a session on its own, to go through a self-employed client's requirements. But in that instance, we normally ask the client just to get a letter from his auditor confirming what the monthly salary is that the client takes from the company monthly, the drawing. And then we can work on that to do a pre-assessment. But the banks do a lot of additional verifications for a self-employed client, but that will at least give them a very, very good idea, to lead them in the right direction. And at least we can do that consultation process so that the client know what he needs to get ready for when he wants to apply for the formal home loan, because that is sometimes a bit of an obstacle with your self-employed clients. I know a lot of people think, I'm self-employed, so I can't apply for a home loan, but it's really not true. You just need to have the correct information and you need to have all the correct documents in place. Then it's very, very much possible. But that is something that you discuss with the client on a one-to-one basis when you consult with them. But in general, it's just proof of income, bank statements, and a copy of your ID. And then some basic information like address, telephone numbers, email addresses, things like that. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I just also want to know, you are referring now to that kind of rule of thumb of 50% of your salary. I assume that a salary would be your net salary that you are taking home. So basically after all tax and pension fund and medical aid deductions.
Renal, that's actually your gross income before deductions. Yeah, that the banks take into account. And then after that, they take your salary deductions and your household expenses and all your credit accounts that you've got, installments. And then they determine your net income. And that net income needs to be sufficient for the new bond installment. So the 30% is income before deductions that they do look at. Just on that, there's a lot of bond calculators out there that, you can just go onto the internet and you can put in your salary there, you can put in your expenses, and it throws out an amount for you. And it's a good indication, but I will always, recommend to go through a more formal process where the home loan consultant can go through each thing and make sure. For instance, overtime. There's specific amounts that the banks use for overtime. Say, for instance, you have another property that you rent out. The banks only take a percentage of that income into account. So you are maybe going to put in your full rental income there. Then it's the calculation is going to be incorrect. Or if you earn commission, the banks only use a certain percentage of your commission. There's a specific calculation around that. So it's not, I would say, do that as a basic indication, but never go only on that as a pre-approval.
Okay, and I think then you also mentioned something important there. So they do not only look at your salary. If you do have rental income or additional business income or so forth, they would also take that into account.
No, true. Yeah, we can quickly touch on the types of income that the banks are looking at. A lot of people, something that they, for instance, don't look at is like reimbursements for travel expenses. So say, for instance, you travel for work and now you put in that claim and they've that into account. So it's only fixed income that you get on your salary payslip every single month, which can be verified for at least 3 to 6 months. So also, if you do earn variable income like commission or overtime, we need to provide the banks with 6 months payslips in order to determine an average, because they only use that average. Same with commission, overtime, commission, and then rental income you can use. There's also like divorcees that use like maintenance income. Some people have investments where they get monthly, interest from, so you can use that interest income. So that's in a nutshell the income that the banks normally look at. And then I know a lot of people, and I think that is why it's so dangerous as well, to go and do these pre-approvals yourself on the internet. Because some banks, for instance, don't use your cost to company. So if the company contributes for your pension, your medical, not all the banks take that into account. So it's very important then that we consult and say, okay, we're not going to take your full cost to company into account for the pre-approval. We're only going to take your basic income plus all fixed allowances, because that is a rule of thumb that the banks all, do consider.
Mm. Yeah, thank you. That was very valuable what you shared there. Then I also want to know, in terms of the duration, from the time that I submit my form and my documents, or I complete the link, how much time does it take until when I would receive, like, in my pre-approval certificate?
Ronaldo, that's a very quick process. We do try to complete it as soon as possible, because we know sometimes clients, in the spur of the moment, they saw a property and they've put their heart on this property and they need to be pre-approved now. So if you go on the link and you complete all your information and everything is there, within 2 hours, we can issue a pre-approval certificate. Obviously, if it's over, like, say, for instance, through the night that you go onto the system and you submit your information, or over a weekend, sometimes it will only be on the Monday morning. But we also do have facilities where over a weekend and you urgently need a pre-approval, then we can issue you, with a pre-approval. But yeah, as long as we have all the complete information, it shouldn't take longer than 2 hours to issue you with that certificate.
Okay, that is very good news. So, and I think then also a question that I get all the time, are there any costs involved in this process?
I think that is a concern for most people, and I'm glad you asked that question, because no, there is definitely not a cost involved in the process. It's a tool and it's a free service that we offer to our real estate partners and also to their clients. We only ask, if a client does sign an official offer to purchase, that they allow us to then assist them with the formal process to the banks. But yeah, no, there's absolutely no cost involved. And yeah, we do it as a business partner in the real estate industry.
Oh, thank you, Jon. I think that gives you even more reason why you can do this, because if there's
Nothing
no
to
costs
lose.
involved, there's
Yeah.
nothing for you to lose. You can only benefit
Mm.
from it. But I think, Elsabe, we've already now touched on numerous benefits, but maybe you can just share with us, from your point of view, what do you believe are the biggest advantages of obtaining bond pre-approval?
Most definitely to be informed, to be equipped, before you enter the property market. And also, then we already start building a relationship, going into the home loan approval. And I mean, or a process for applying for a home loan. Because at the end of the day, we really want you to end up and know that you got the best possible transaction available on that specific time in the market. If you do try and negotiate or start this process on your own, you will never know if you really got the best offer out there. And I mean, even as we said before, it's a very time-consuming process. So, I mean, everybody's busy. Nobody's got time. And nobody's got time to fill in loads and loads of documents, work through paperwork, try and figure this out on your own. You don't have to do this alone. I mean, if you want to invest, you speak to a financial advisor to advise you, because and a home loan is just as big financial commitment. So for me, it will just be to be equipped to enter the property market with confidence and know that you are on the right path. For all parties involved, for your seller, for the estate agents, for the attorneys involved, but most of all for you. I mean, it's your future, it's your family's future, and you need to know that you make the right financial decision.
Okay, thank you. And then also, I would just want to understand at this kind of phase or level, do you only provide basically more or less the amount that people would qualify for, or do you already at this stage have an indication of what the different banks might offer?
Unfortunately, we're not able to quote on interest rates on the pre-approval level stage, because, you know, even the property and the valuation of the property has an influence on your interest rate. But what I can tell clients in advance is what does influence your interest rate. Most definitely, if you put down a deposit, your interest rate will be more favorable because it's a lesser risk for the bank. You know, if the bank can have reduced their risk, they are more favorable to a better interest rate. So, for instance, and also your credit profile, your credit score plays a role in your interest rate. You know, if the bank can, you know, see any risk in an application, they might approve it. You know, because if it's a borderline case, for instance, if you had previous defaults or unpaid accounts and things like that, but then they are going to charge you a premium on your interest rate. So, but what I can tell clients is that we won't rest until we got you the best possible interest rate, you know, applicable in the market at that stage. But it's not always just your interest rate that you have to look at. You also have to look at your monthly service fees, at additional benefits that the banks offer you, like discounts. And, you know, each bank puts something different on the table. And that's why it's so important to compare. I mean, if you go out and you buy a motor vehicle, you're not going to go to the first car dealership you see and you're going to buy the first car you see. So why do you want to take the first and the best home loan that you get? And I get a lot of the questions, but I think we'll get to that, is, you know, I only want to go to my bank. But for me, I can't imagine why you would do that. Because, I mean, it's like going and buying a Mercedes-Benz for, you know, the first one that you see on the floor, but there's 10 other models, you know, available that you can choose from. So, and I mean, it's a 20-year commitment. So why do you want to take the first and best one that comes your way? So for me, it just makes sense to shop around. And I mean, most often, I would actually say every time, you know, we get a better deal from another bank than the client's own bank. And then we need to go back to the client's own bank and ask them to please match the interest rate that the other bank has offered that client. And if you went to the bank directly, you would have gotten that rate, and he would have had to accept that rate. So for me, I would definitely not only apply at one bank. Definitely.
Yeah, no, I think that is very important. And I think things like interest rate, I mean, if you can get the 0.25% better interest rate, I mean, like in over such a long period, it makes a huge difference in terms of repayment of your bond. So definitely something you need to look at. But then I also want to ask you, Elsabie, say, for example, now you have two people who made an offer to a seller for a specific property, and the one has pre-approval, the other one doesn't have pre-approval. And now your seller needs to make the decision in terms of whose offer they are going to accept. Is it more attractive for from a seller's point of view to accept the offer from the buyer who has pre-approval?
Well, most definitely. If I were a seller, I mean, I would have, and I have two offers on the table, and they were, for instance, for exactly the same offer, purchase price, I would go for the client that has the pre-approval, because 90% of the work has already been done, affordability-wise and credit-wise. Otherwise, it's still an open question, and you are going to keep your property out of the market for that full time that seller that does not have the pre-approval go and attempt getting a approval. And I mean, because of all the criteria, there's so many things that can arise that makes it impossible for him to get the bond. And then you've kept your property out of the market for all that time, and then you have to remarket it. And also, I mean, estate agents would most likely take you out to properties, that they know is very good properties if they know you are pre-approved. So it just makes sense to, out of a seller's perspective, to go and accept the offer where a client has been pre-approved.
Okay, and then would it also benefit you if you have pre-approval in terms of the time does it that it takes from kind of like when you submit your offer to purchase to when the bank will approve your final home loan, as opposed to somebody who doesn't have a pre-approval?
Most definitely, because we do most of the homework up front. I mean, I would say almost 90%. So your information is already captured. I mean, we already have your proof of income. We already have your bank statements, copy of ID. Everything is prepared. So, I mean, by the time you view properties, we only need a signed and accepted offer to purchase to add to your application. Maybe there's here and there an additional document that we still need. And then we're ready to submit your application. Whereas if we only get involved after you've signed an offer to purchase, then I have to advise you of all the documents that you need. You need to go and get that ready. Then only you can provide it. So then by then, a couple of days have passed. And every minute in a home loan application is very, very precious, because there's a time limit for you to get your bond in place. And especially if you are a self-employed client. If I can mention an example, I mean, I already spoke to a client in January this year, and he's self-employed, and he didn't have any of his documents in order. And I advised him, I've sent him a list. We've got a very specific list that we provide to the clients that he can give to his auditor in order to get those documents ready. But he thought, you know what, it can't be so complicated. I'm just going to let the auditor compile a payslip for me, and I'm going to apply with that. And I warned him. I said to him, you need to get these documents in place. And I think in May he wanted to apply for his home loan, and I asked him, do you have all these documents ready? No, he's got the payslips. And I said to him, but we're going to need more than that. Now I just need to submit the application. And guess what? We still don't have the application in place. And you know what? It could have been prevented if, he just took my advice in January, spoke to his auditor. Unfortunately, there is no shortcuts. And you know what you put in is what you're going to get out. And I am very, very, and I mean, if you're in this industry for so long, you have to submit a very complete and very thorough application to get the results that you want. And that's why it's so important to do this consultation upfront, get everything in place. We've got a little file for you already with everything in, and by the time you sign the offer to purchase, you're good to go, and you're going to have the results.
No, that is
Very
excellent.
important.
Excellent advice there, Elsabie. And I definitely think we need to do another episode specifically for self-employed.
That's very involved.
That is very important as well. Then I also want to ask you, because you've mentioned now that you can already get this in place even before you start looking for a property. But how long, or what is the duration of how long this pre-approval certificate would be valid for?
The certificate is valid for 3 months. Because when the banks do verification, they normally verify the information of the previous 3 months. So they do look at your salary for the previous 3 months. Has it been constant and stable? And has the deposit been made, the salary deposit been made into your account? So that's why it's normally valid for 3 months. And then, but if you are a commission earner or salary earner, then we can try and make it for a longer period, but the normal period is about 3 months.
Okay, and then if that 3 months expire, then how do you do you need to start from scratch again, or how does it work then?
No, not necessarily. We just need some updated information. I think the most important thing is just to communicate and not, keep it, how can I say quiet and say, I've changed jobs, or now this commission of mine fallen away, or I got an increase, so that we can quickly do a reassessment and then align the application according to that. But it's quick, and as long as you can provide us with the information, the new information, we can definitely do a reassessment very quickly.
Okay, and then on that point, so what if your financial circumstances change in any way after you have received your pre-approval? Do they need to notify you? You've maybe changed jobs, or you've maybe received a promotion or something. Do they need to notify you, or what do you need to do then?
Most definitely, Ronald, because I need to consult you, and we won't be able to provide the correct information to the banks if you don't give us the correct information. So I can only consult you on the information that we get. So very, very important. And I think a lot of clients think, I've now resigned at my current company, and I'm quickly going to apply for a home loan before anybody realizes it. And then, it will be all good. But unfortunately, the banks' verification processes are very thorough. A lot of banks do phone your employer asking, to confirm your income and your employment. So, yeah, very important. And it's not the end of the world if you change jobs. We can apply to the banks with your new employment contract, and also like a dummy payslip, just to confirm how the structure of your income going forward. So it's not to say that if you change jobs now that you need to wait another 6 months to apply for a home loan, but we just need to be aware of it.
Okay, thank you. And then you've also mentioned that, but maybe just to confirm again, do buyers need to work with a bond originator if they want to get pre-approval, or can they apply directly at their bank? Just maybe confirm that for us again.
Ronald, yes. Previously, there was home loan consultants in the branches. I was a home loan consultant in a bank, in a branch. A couple of years ago, that was still the norm, but the banks did away with it. There's no specific home loan consultants in the branches anymore. They centralized that whole function, and now it's the function of the personal bankers. Now, the personal bankers, I've got the utmost respect for them. They've got so much on their plates. They need to quickly up your credit card limit. They need to cancel this debit order for you. They need to apply for this personal loan. So a home loan is only one of the products, and it's not something that they specialize on specifically. Mm-hmm. They compile the application quickly, and it only gets referred to the admin department, which need to compile it and prepare it to send it through to the credit department. And also, I think there's a big misperception that clients think if I go to the bank, I've got a better chance of getting a better transaction or get approved, opposed to applying through a bond originator or a bond consultant. I'm not going to get approved. But the banks have one set of credit criteria. They definitely don't have the time to write one set of criteria for this channel and a one set of criteria for that channel, and the whole credit department is centralized. So it's not the channel that submitted it, it's the way it's been submitted. You know, is there a motivation? That is all the documents there. Is it, you know, is it laid out correctly for the credit department to make a good decision or a informed decision? Because unfortunately, the bankers do not have the time to sit with a home loan application, do a thorough motivation with all the background, because they just have so much on their plate. I mean, the bond consultants at the mortgage origination firms are most of them bankers, and that specialized in home loans. So for me, I would say it's definitely a benefit to rather work through a bond consultant opposed to your banker directly. And also, as we mentioned before, you know, to get the advantage of negotiating and not accepting the first and best offer. And a lot of clients say to me, okay, but you go and apply at the other banks, I'll go and apply at my bank. But, you know, it just makes our leverage a bit lesser if we can't apply at all the banks simultaneously. You know, it just gives us a little bit more negotiating power if we can apply at all the banks simultaneously. And it is a simultaneous process. I mean, we can submit it to all the banks. And I know that a lot of clients ask, but, you know, is it not going to influence my profile if I apply at so many banks? You know what? It doesn't leave the footprint that it used to when applying for a home loan. Because of this, you know, the banks know that the client wants to negotiate and he wants the best option. So they make sure that it doesn't leave the footprint. I mean, that's why it's important to make sure that your application is approved first round, because you don't want that negative or declined application on your profile and then coming from the back foot to apply again.
Yeah.
You know, and that is why it's so important to make sure that there is a lot of facts that sometimes there's like little holes on a bank's system, you know, that we can't always have access to, but that happens very, very seldom. You know, that where we did the pre-approval, there's something that the banks pick up that we didn't necessarily could see. But besides that, you know, there's definitely only benefit to do the simultaneous submission.
Right.
Definitely.
Excellent. And then I assume you are working with all the banks.
Yes, we work with all four of the commercial banks as well as the personal banks. More like your niche banks like Investec. And then we also work with a private finance company called Sentinel Homes. You know, where some of the traditional banks don't want to approve the more traditional home loan product, you know, they also look at, you know, it's more like an installment sale agreement that they do with the client. They also have, specific criteria, but it's another option as well. So yeah, we work with all the banks except SA Home Loans, because they are also, you know, they prefer to work with the clients directly, which is also 100%. They work on a total different criteria, but we do work with Absa, Standard Bank, FNB, Nedbank, Investec, RMB, which is part of FNB, and most definitely the full spectrum.
Right. Excellent. Elsabe, I think you've shared so much information, but I think lastly, just what would you say, what is your advice from having a lot of experience in this industry for anybody who wants to consider getting pre-approval?
I think the first thing will be to reach out. We've got a homepage where you can get all our information. I can share my direct contact details. We've got a website. We've got, as I say, that links where you can go on to directly apply for the home loan or pre-approval, the pre-approval first step, and it will pull through to us automatically. We get it through on our system. We make contact with you, and we go through the consultation process. But clients are most welcome to email or call me directly, and we can start the process for them.
Right, excellent. And obviously, they also need to have their documents ready ASAP.
Yeah, you know, when I make contact with them, I will advise them. But if they do go on the link gives you a step-by-step guideline of which documents you need to upload. And then, yeah, it is really a very streamlined, convenient process. We don't want to make it a daunting process because then nobody's going to do it. So very important. And we want to empower the home buyer. It's our passion. We want to equip them. We want to educate them because it's such a big step in your life. And we don't want you to do it alone and go into this process, and not knowing all the information you need to know.
Okay, thank you. So there you have it. It is actually a very quick process if you have all of your documents ready and available, and it has so many benefits. And the best of all, there is no costs involved. So there's absolute no reason why you would not consider getting your bond pre-approval when you want to look into buying property. So Elsabé, I want to thank you for basically spending time with us today. Thank you for sharing all of your experience and knowledge. And we're definitely going to have you back in the future talking about more topics. So thank you for being with us today. And then we will be sharing Elsabé's contact details if you want to get hold of her, as well as the link where you can go and do or submit your application. Thank you so much, Elsabé.
Thank you, Ronelle. I really appreciate you inviting me onto your podcast, and I'm looking forward to talking to all the clients. And even if you don't want to do the formal pre-approval, if you only want to ask questions, general questions, you're also more than welcome to contact us. Thank you so much.
100%. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.